Hello, welcome to my first ever YouTube video. I recorded this back in early September, I believe. I have had it on my list to start posting my journaling loves and practices on YouTube for a few years now. So actually getting this posted, oh my gosh, hold on. Pause. This is me immediately messing up in my Hobonichi. The very first word. Ironically, the word first, I misspelled it. So yeah, I had a brain fart there trying to figure out how I was going to fix that. Anyways, I've been wanting to post on YouTube for, like I said, quite a while, years actually. And I'm finally doing it. Don't ask me why. I have some theories. Dealing with anxiety my whole life, pretty much, and a tendency, I wouldn't say towards perfection, but a tendency towards being afraid of mediocrity, like not being the absolute best. I don't feel failure. I don't necessarily think that I would fail at many things, like totally fail, but I definitely have a fear of doing things in a way that is not excellent. And I was recently on Reddit and, I'm always on Reddit, but this past time, I wish I had screenshotted this comment. But they said anything worth doing is worth doing poorly. So, and that really resonated with me because I get so hung up on wanting to do things really well, and not wanting to do them if I think I'm going to do it in a manner that is poor. So here I am doing something poorly because I think it's worth doing for my own kind of personal goals and my creativity. And I have been so inspired by other people in the community that post their experiences and process. It's influenced me in a really positive way. And I also think maybe I have something to contribute. So here I am. I have been very inspired by Planner Coven, Dozy Ghoul, Hungry Gal Studios, Tori on Paper, Lindsay Scribbles, Megan Rhiannon, a lot of the big names and small names as well. There's like lots in between. And I've been really drawn to the very like low production, just sitting, recording, and talking and sharing. So I don't know, that's what I'm gonna do. I wanted to talk a bit about what I'm doing here. So this is how I close out my Hobonichi cousin every month. I'm lying. I don't do this every month, but I do it eventually. So sometimes it's a few months later where I'm going in and writing out highlights of the month in that opening page of the month before the daily section. It was a space that I was just leaving blank, and I think at the very end of 2023, I went through my 2023 Hobonichi and did this on a few pages, and I was thinking that I would love to do it for a whole year. So yeah, this is 2024. This is August of 2024. And I really like doing this as a reflection on the month. It is a great opportunity to feel grateful for the things that happened, reflect on the hard things. And since you have such limited space, you really have to pick and choose what you're going to put in there to encapsulate the month. And it's become a really important practice for me every month. And something I'm really excited to do. I know a lot of us in the planner and stationery community really like checking boxes and look forward to using our art supplies. And I don't have a ton of art supplies. I have a decent stash, but I've also found that when it comes to creating, even when it comes to like recording and posting this video, if I make things as uncomplicated as possible, I am way more likely to get things to the finish line. So in this case, I'm just writing. I'm not drawing. I'm not using stickers or washi. I just have a brush pen that has pretty like dark inky black ink, which I really like, and I'm just writing words. And I find that the more that I simplify a process, the more successful I am at consistency. When it comes to specifically this video and recording, I have a tendency, as I mentioned, to want to do things to the extreme. And I have a tendency to believe that things aren't worth pursuing if they aren't done in a way that is off the charts. So this recording of just using my iPhone, the only thing that I purchased was a stand to hold my iPhone to get like an overhead shot, and it was like a $20 Amazon find, and I ordered that literally a year ago before I recorded this. So I finally got around to it. I think partly what instigated me finally sitting down and recording was feeling like and knowing that there's no time like the present. And so one day when I had a little bit of quiet, I set up, and here we are however many months later. Let's see, August, September, October, November, December. We're at the end of January now. So 5 months later, I'm completing step 2 of recording a voiceover. Again, my theory here is that things worth doing are worth doing poorly or taking a long time. And I'm not trying to diminish like what it takes to put a video like this together, but I think, in my mind, I want it to be a big production. I want it to add so much value to people's lives. If I don't have something that is incredibly important to say, it's not worth saying. But I think this is important in a small way for me to do this. So, yeah, before I start this, I will go through my journal entries and kind of already know what I want to write out. But in this instance, as you see, I'm flipping back and forth between pages and photos. And I think this is part of why it is so reflective for me, is because I'm rereading through my entries, and I'm not only gleaning the big moments that I'm writing down, but I'm also reading through the parts before and after, which are smaller moments, things that don't necessarily make it to this page, but that give me a sense of gratitude, and a sense of savoring and reflecting on the time spent, because we only have so much time. And I use the Hobonichi cousin as a memory keeper, and that doesn't always mean I'm filling out the page or journaling a ton every single day, or that I don't skip days. This book in particular, in 2024, I, at this point, still haven't fully closed it out, and that's okay. I'm planning on getting that done at some point, and that's good enough. We had a particularly kind of life-changing thing that happened at the end of this year, and that really affected my day-to-day practices, such as journaling. All my plants are dead now, except for 2. And that is because there's things that I love that I just couldn't have the energy to do. And that's a season. And that's a season that is, even though it's documented by way of blank pages. When I flip through this 2024 book, and see weeks of pages missing, instead of thinking, oh man, I failed at this, it's another type of record. It's a record of the time that I felt overwhelmed and felt like I just didn't have the energy for this hobby, even though it's something that brings me so much joy. And so that's just my perspective on these blank pages. I'll probably do a flip through of this book at some point, so you can know what I'm talking about. But I do know that a lot of people can get discouraged by blank space in a notebook that they've spent money on or that is precious, such as a Hobonichi or really any other planner. But yeah, that is just my perspective on this book for me. So at this point, I've written out most of the words and the memories that I want to capture here. And I'm going in with a pencil, like a rainbow pencil. The lead has the like rainbow color. And so I'm just kind of making little embellishments around to fill in the space. And I also just really love the chunky black inky type with rainbow and white. I'm really loving it. I did receive and order this Chunky Monkey, which was on the Hobonichi website or release for this year. And it's really fun. I had been using previously that little rainbow pencil that I just used. And so when I saw this multicolor pencil on the site, I was really excited to add it to my order and try it out. And then I also go in with my black brush pen and just kind of add some more little touches here and there. I'll put what this pen is in the comments. I actually don't remember what it is. I got it at an art supply store a long time ago, but I just ordered a refill of the ink on jet pen, so I'll definitely link it below. So if you're interested, you can check it out. Going back to the idea of anxiety and how to move forward when you're feeling things that make you want to quit or that are so overwhelming that you don't even want to start. And this kind of goes in line with this idea of things that are worth doing poorly. Whoever it was that made this comment, the examples that they gave were, putting laundry away is valuable. So if you put one shirt away instead of all of them, like you've still done something towards that end. If you are in a bout of depression and you feel like you can barely get out of bed, if you get up and brush your teeth, you haven't completed the whole list of maybe what your ideal self-care routine looks like, but you've still done something of value. And taking things in really tiny steps especially with something new, like for me, that new thing is making a YouTube channel, recording a video, having thoughts, talking about them, actually like doing the project that the video is capturing, such as this monthly recap. It's been a process that has taken me quite literally years. Like I mentioned, the stand that I'm using here, I ordered over a year ago. I recorded this, 5 months before sitting down to talk about it. And I think that's okay. And that's something that I'm doing in my daily life as well. Sometimes the trash in my bathroom will get to overflowing, and I just keep ignoring it because, I have to get it all tied up, and I have to take it all the way outside in the cold, and I have to reline the trash can. And sometimes, even though all of those things would take maybe a minute, it just overwhelms me. And so I've started doing it in a few steps over the course of like an afternoon. I will tie it up and leave it in the trash can. And then the next time I'm in there, I might take the bag and put it near our main trash. And then the next time I'm in there, I'm like, oh, I need to reline it. So I'll put a new liner in. And then later, I will actually take the trash out. And so what could take maybe a minute or two ends up taking hours, but I am getting it done. So I don't know if that's helpful for you, if that's something that can help you get through your day, but I don't know. That's just something that has been a revelation, and I'm glad to be here. I am scared, but I'm going to take the leap. I'm going to hit publish. And at the end of the day, that's all I can do. I hope you enjoyed this video. Would love to know your thoughts. I'll see you next time. Bye.